Never take a loss on my install. Only take a when I'm dead. I'm the gang 3 times on my install. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the install. Too late, you already dead right now.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we are ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the Detroit Lions.
Detroit is lined up for the kickoff. Number 19, backbeat to return.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
27 yards. Number 19 on return.
Quick.
First carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And, Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. He introduced himself with authority on that play.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Amendola, he was the intended target. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
After the interception, here's Stafford. He's got it. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Luke Wilson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside. Make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Well, after those plays, the offense coordinator has feel like he has balance in his favor. Threw it, then ran it, both for nice chunks of yardage. Now he feels like he's got things going in his direction, but the defensive coordinator, his guys are off balance a little bit. How does he set up, and what does he plan for on the next play? Is there a tendency there he can lock in on and maybe set his defensive call?
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go. Let's go, get set. Zebra. Check, crunch.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. He shakes him off. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill complete to his running back, Kenyon Drake. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Now a 1st down throw, Tannehill. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. A toss to Abdullah. And some space here. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. A big gain there on 3rd and long. 57 yards. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 41.
Hey, go here!
On 1st down, Stafford here. The completion to Riddick. Touchdown, Detroit! Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes in this 1st quarter. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn, and he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Prater on to add the extra point. Prater for the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Very good return that time. 18 yards, and the Lions will take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. And they begin the drive with Abdullah. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And incomplete on the deep ball. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And now it's 3rd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
To throw is Stafford. And Tate's got it. First catch so far for Tate, and he's got a 1st down. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down. Almost back to the drawing board.
And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5.
We got three, fellas. Hey, 22!
Again, it's Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. Coverage that time by Bobby McCain.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Let's go! We got 4.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. And that'll be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Tannehill. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down. There you go, Tiger. Clay. Tiger. Get wide.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Here we go. Let's go. 117.
On 1st down, it's Tannehill. He goes underneath to Drake. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Get set.
To the air again, Tannehill. He'll set up the screen to Drake. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass. And sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
Tannehill throwing again. And it's caught by Parker. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Tannehill with a hook up to Parker for the Dolphin first. First foray into the red zone for Miami. 1st and 10 right at the 20. On 1st down, Drake. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here you go, Tiger. Get set.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. Throwing right, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. First foray into the red zone for Miami. They've got it first and goal at the 7. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Ashawn Robinson coming out of the University of Alabama. A big, physical, intimidating force who had to learn to play with more leverage. Otherwise, he was going to get blown off the ball in the NFL. Looks like he's learning his lessons after that play.
Here's Tannehill. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer.
And yes, that's exactly why the Dolphins used a second-round pick on Mike Gesicki, specifically for that type of situation. He has a chance to be a real weapon in the red zone, and he gets a touchdown right there.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Give me radar. You're set. 260.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
6 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Touchdown, Detroit. Make that now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions add on to their lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field.
Hustle, we're walking. We're all walking. Hey, we got
They'll start the drive with Drake. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Terrence Newman making the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Ziggy Ansah in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long. Tannehill. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And this is caught at the 20. It's a big play there for Miami. 66 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Mike Gesicki with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 30 yards there.
Here we go. Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
On 1st and 10, Stafford looking downfield for Jones. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allow the defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Back to throw, Stafford. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Stafford now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Stafford. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it. That can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff. because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. So now here come the Dolphins. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Drake on the give from Tannehill. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Here's Stafford now on second down. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Stafford on first down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
On second down, here's Stafford. Being chased out left. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Robert Quinn in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. That's taken on the 25. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Here we go.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. And on the left side here, Wilson. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but
yeah,
no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
get set.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now Tannehill. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty is a result of that hit there.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Go.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw. Unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go.
Stafford gives to Abdullah on the draw. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Abdullah. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
A dump off from Abdullah. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run here. Abdullah. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well.
Here we go.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
Here we go.
They get it to him running left. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Amir Abdullah His second touchdown on the season. And the Lions add on to their lead.
Touchdown City, baby. Touchdown City.
Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 13. A pitch out to Drake. And he loses the football a second time. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they take over already. Yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
Set. Red 80. Hey, watch the lane.
Now Stafford hands to Abdullah. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A second down run for Abdullah. Runs through, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point good by Prater, and that will extend this big lead. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Set. 30. All day, just like that. Just like that. Deuce.
On first down, Tannehill. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Set, lady.
Back to the air, Tannehill on 2nd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Tannehill. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Zebra, zebra. 4 down, check. Set. 30. Zebra, zebra. Let's go, get set. Let him go, here we go.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. On the right side open is Gesicki. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
4 down.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Let's go. 180. Got 4 down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Terrence Newman with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20.
You ready? Yellow lady.
They start the drive with Abdullah. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he's brought down after a good gain. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
And, Brandon, this is where it pays to have a big back who can take over a football game, especially in the 4th quarter when you've got the lead, your ability to not just wear people down, but close games out.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 43. Stafford gives to Abdullah. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dolphins' offense now heads back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Going for the deep ball. He's got a man. Complete. 20. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They run with Adula, and he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hurry up, get set. Whoa! Let's get it. Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52.
They'll run it here with Blunt. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7.
3 down. Set. Lady.
Abdullah. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Again, it's a duel. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal.
And now here is another interception. Picked by Tracy Walker. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost like they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game.